Aloha! I'm Lahaina Lee, and this is your Maui Real Estate Advisor for December 2024. Last month of the year, and you probably know how many shopping days you have left. Recently, I've talked to a few people who drove through Lahaina for the first time in months, and they were able to see the town. And imagine this, if you will. They're driving through Lahaina, and on the mauka side of the highway, that's the mountainside, the debris is gone, construction is happening, looks pretty good. Additionally, some of the so-called affordable housing projects are really starting to take shape. Now I know that's good news. FEMA, the Army Corps of Engineers, private enterprise, different government entities, they've got a lot of these places almost ready for habitation. Gold star, guys. And then there's Lahaina Town. On the makai side, that's the ocean side of the highway. Let's just say languishing is the current word. The draft recovery plan, as one of my buddies used to say, there is no there. Yeah, somebody probably said that before he did, but that's beside the point. The county says they're waiting for more input. Translation? Yeah, we don't really know what we're doing. Meanwhile, longtime residents and merchants like the Front Street Recovery Group and the Lahaina Restoration Foundation are pleading to rebuild the town pretty much just as it was. But outsiders, non-Lahaina residents, are wringing their hands over sea rise and flooding. And sure, those are real risks. But newsflash, fire was the issue that took our town, not erosion and flooding. And if residents and Lahaina business owners are willing to spend their own money and shoulder the risk, why are people that are not from Lahaina telling us we can't rebuild? A thriving Lahaina town is vital to our economy and our tax base, and it's something both we and our island visitors miss terribly. And speaking of visitors, let's talk about tourism. The Hawaii Tourism Authority proudly announced that October arrivals statewide are at 97.3% of pre-pandemic levels. Translation? We're still down 2.7% from 2019. Maui, however, is lagging behind with arrivals down 24%. But here's an interesting kicker. Spending is actually up 2.3%. Yeah. Fewer visitors, spending a little bit more money. Thank you for those $20 Mai Tais. Who knew that was an economic strategy? Hey, but if you're freezing somewhere and dreaming of palm trees, come on out. We've got room, and we've got some real estate deals. Speaking of which, let's do the numbers. The condominium market is clearly a buyer's market. If you're studying in a real estate class somewhere and the exam asks you to describe a buyer's market, well, this is it. Condo sales have declined, not exactly at an even rate, but they're down since May, and we've dropped below 50 units in November. And it seems like every month I say this is the lowest number since the Great Recession, but yeah, it still is. On the other side of the supply and demand equation, inventory rose to over 700 condos for sale once again in November. We now have just under 15 months of inventory. The number of pending sales dropped to only 67. This is cause for great concern as pendings are the leading indicator of what we're going to see in coming months. And so far, we have fallen back, we only have to go back to May where there were over 100 condos pending. And a year ago, November, there were 156 condos under contract getting ready to close. And selling prices, well, they're taking a bit of a dive. The median selling price in November was $730,000. That's down 18% from October. The average selling price also slipped. It went below $1 million for the first time this year. So that's an indication that the luxury end of the market is not exactly booming in condos. So students, that is your definition of a buyer's market. And if you're following all the falderall with the mayor's legislation proposal and my concerns about the lack of tourism, especially on the west side, it's notable that in October there were only 11 condo sales on the west side. Of those sales, 2 are zoned apartment and therefore on the so-called Minatoya list. 2 others are zoned either owner-occupant or long-term rental, and the remainder were either hotel zoned or through some other mechanism, they're okay for short-term rental. So if you're an investor or just a real estate bargain hunter, my advice is to find a condo for sale on Maui's west side in an apartment zone district and make your best deal. Now, shifting to single-family homes, is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? Well, neither. It's sort of in that Goldilocks zone of Sales hit 62 homes in November. Not exactly stellar, but not awful either. It is the most homes that we've sold in the last 3 months. And inventory is up a whopping 63% from January, which is nice to see. But at 5.7 months of inventory, we're still in balanced market territory. You can see the median selling price is holding steady right around that $1.3 million mark. The average price is just under $1.7 million, down from a lofty $2 million that we had back in September. Now, if you're shopping in that $1.3 to $1.5 million range or under, well, it's still a seller's market. There are some good buys out there. I especially like the homes that are being built in Wailuku up in a development called Aloha. They're nice homes, they have nice views, and there's some nice amenities around the property. There's a lot of green space, hiking trails, walking trails. So it's a lot of nice stuff up in that development. And if you're looking at a little bit higher price point, let's say $4 million and up, it's a buyer's market there. Right now, there are 92 homes for sale priced at $4 million and above. And last month, there were 4 sales. 2 of those were in Ka'anapali, 1 was in Wailea, and 1 was way up in Kula. So that's our look at real estate and a couple of other things here on Maui for the month of November. Next month will be 2025. And what does 2025 hold? Will the condo market bounce back? Will Lahaina Town finally get a recovery plan with some actually plan in the plan? Well, come back, see us next month, and we'll wrap up 2024 and take a swag at what's ahead. Until then, have a fabulous holiday. It's 80 degrees here, the trees are green, the skies are blue, and the ocean is warm-ish. Maui is waiting to welcome you. So if you have any comments or questions, drop them in the text box below. From this beautiful island of Maui, this is Lahaina Lee saying, Aloha!